Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of We Are Not Entertained. I am back again after not doing one last week. I think I'd just start doing these bi-weekly now. Probably not. Or if I just want to record, I should probably do these weekly. But, this is just a reminder to myself and just listening back to this to remember, hey, do these weekly instead of bi-weekly. But let's just get into it real quick because a lot of AEW stuff has been happening. Not really much on the WWE front. I mean, Dexter Lumis is back in NXT for some reason. Again, the Index stuff is back, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm pretty sure he should be on the main Raw. He's been on the main roster. He's been on Raw like 2 or 3 times with the AJ Styles stuff, which I find just very weird and all that. But I just don't know. Nothing's been really happening on the WWE side. It's all happening on the AEW side. So we'll start with a week or two ago with CM Punk basically going off script and doing another shoot promo on Hangman Adam Page. And Hangman was not happy about it. And a lot of people backstage were not happy about it. And then he goes on a tirade. Look, I'm kind of doing this kind of on the fly right now because someone is on my ass about sending it to him. Not really. But CM Punk basically called Hangman out, called him coward, all that kind of stuff like that. And Hangman actually came out and said, no, I'm not. You're the one that does it. And it's funny listening to Eddie Kingston promo where he's like, you're so narcissistic, all that kind of stuff. And then the Triple H promo way back when during the Summer of Punk. And it's like, interesting that people are bringing this up when Triple H is head of creative now. And CM Punk is basically just cutting promos again. Where last week he's like, where he calls out Eddie Kingston. He's like, you're not even the second best Kingston I ever... you're not even the third best Eddie I've wrestled with. And he's like, hell, you're not even the best Kingston I've shared a locker room with. And all that. And then he basically says John Moxley, basically always third fiddle in the group. And it's like, funny. That's happened before, hasn't it? So, yeah. Oh, and then, that's also, basically a little good back and forth between John Moxley and CM Punk. Another thing that happened last week, to the disdain and behest and disdain, just disdain. I don't know why I'm dragging this on. The disdain for Brock Gordon, one certain best bout machine, 6-star man, PWI top 500 number 1 wrestler, all that stuff. Mr. Kenny Omega is back. Now, I'd like to take note. It's been about, 8 months since he's returned because of all the fucking injuries he's had. So, it's been a bit. It has been a very long time. It's been 8 months since he's back, and he's back in the Trios tournament for the triple, basically the never open weight 3-man tag team title belts. This is basically the never open weights is what they're doing. Anyway, I digress. So, Kenny's back. Do I like Kenny Omega? Yeah, some of his matches are pretty good and all that. His match, a very underrated classic of his is his between Jay White for the United States IWGP US title. That's a very underrated one, if I do say so myself. Of course, everyone does the Kazuchika Okadas, but people don't realize how good of a match the Jay White one was. Either way, I digress. It's good to see him back after, he's been gone for 8 months, dealing and healing all these injuries off. So it's nice to see him back. Now, is he still taped up to hell and back? Abso-fucking-lutely. When he wrestled his first match, he was in a long sleeve shirt and in the spray painted tights, all that kind of stuff. And I knew under all of that, I'm like, he is taped. And I knew too, he is taped up to hell and back. Of course, the one thing is that pop when his name was named, when he was named, and it's Kenny Omega, that pop was loud, and that was loud too. So, yeah, that's pretty, what else has happened in AEW? Oh, yes! So I'm also recording this the day after Dynamite, where they moved up, for some fucking reason, the main event of All Out. The main event of All Out was supposed to be Jon Moxley versus CM Punk for the undisputed AEW title. It was a title unification match. But instead, for some reason, and I still don't know why, because I haven't seen anything on Fightful or Fightful Select, that this was moved up to Wednesday, or yesterday, as the day I'm recording this. And I gotta say, I'm very confused as to how this happened or what went down. What I'm talking about is Punk did the job. He jobbed out. Punk did the job. He got squashed by Jon Moxley. Which makes me wonder, what are they going to do with their big main title on All Out in like a week or two? My thought was this. MJF might be coming back on Wednesday night. And I wholeheartedly thought MJF was going to come back Wednesday. Am I admitting being wrong? Yes, absolutely. Because this is where I thought they were going to be going. Is that, Punk gets squashed. He comes out, basically talks shit on CM Punk. And then basically you got your main event. You got MJF versus Jon Moxley for the undisputed AEW title. Which isn't a bad thing. I would fucking pay to see that match. Of course, I gotta fucking work that day. So I can't see it. But, I mean, it's just... I just don't understand why they made this a squash match and they did it on national television. Now, I understand why they did this. I don't understand. Now, I get kind of why they did it on national television for a ratings hit. But doing it as a squash, I get they were in Cleveland for this episode. But I just don't understand it. Oh, yes, I forgot one more thing. So... The tag team title scene is very fucked right now because I believe the number one contenders right now should be FTR. They're not. So Swerve in Our Glory is now wrestling. The Acclaim for the tag titles at All Out. It should be fucking FTR because I believe they are the number one contenders. But either way, I digress. Because here's what they're doing. They're doing a 6-man tag team between it's FTR and Wardlow against Jay Lethal and the motherfucking City Machine Guns. The Motor City motherfucking Machine Guns are going to be at All Out wrestling FTR and Wardlow with Jay Lethal. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. Is it cool that I think they're starting to work with Impact again? Yeah, kinda. That's pretty cool. But like, should FTR be winning the AEW Tag Team Titles right now? Yes, absolutely. It's not even fucking close. Like not even close. Not even close. Like, I don't understand why this isn't happening. I get it. People are going to be like, oh, it's all 4 ex-WWE guys. Shut the fuck. These 4 men are fantastic. FTR is fantastic. Swerve and Keith Lee are fantastic. So shut the fuck up and enjoy great wrestling. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand the booking decision behind that. Be like, yeah, we're not going to have FTR win our main titles when they already have the ROH, AAA, and IWGP heavyweight titles when they can just add the AEW titles again, and then probably go on a stint in Impact and make it 8-star FTR. That just makes so much sense and just rolls right off the tongue. But I just don't understand. Oh yes, another thing that happened yesterday. So we go backstage and it's Thunder Rosa with Tony Schiavone, and turns out Thunder Rosa is injured. This is not a work or anything. She's injured. And she cannot compete, and she's not medically cleared for All Out. So she has to pretty much relinquish the title. So we will now have an interim women's champion. It is a fatal 4-way match between Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida. I hope to God that is all holy and almighty that Toni Storm wins this. Or Jamie Hayter. I want anyone but Britt Baker. I want anyone but her. Ow, I just... Ow, I just crushed my pinky. Ow, damn, I just pinched my pinky like it's nothing. It hurts like a motherfucker. But either way, I hope to God it's anyone. It's literally anyone but Britt Baker. Anyone but her. If it's Hikaru Shida, yeah, that's really cool. Like, I've always liked Hikaru Shida, like the way she's wrestled and all that. But I just don't want it to be Britt Baker. I just don't want it to be Britt Baker. I could give a shit less. Her first title run was good and all that, but I don't give a shit now about her. I just don't. I just don't care at all. Like, just don't. I could care less about Britt Baker. Give me someone else. Give me Toni Storm. Give me Jamie Hayter. That'd be an interesting title run to see. Because I get it, they'd be feud. Britt and Jamie would be feuding probably. Because they need to separate those two. But, I mean, anyone... Look, I'm saying the same things. I'm just going to end it here. Anyone but Britt Baker will be fine. I'm kind of going through this very fast. I don't know what else to talk about. I really don't. I really don't know what else to talk about. Nothing's been happening in WWE as of lately. I mean, I talked about Dexter Lumis being back in NXT for some reason. Clash of the Castle's coming up, all that stuff. Of course, Toxic... Oh, one thing I should say is Toxic Attraction is in the tournament, the Tag Team Titles tournament, the Women's Tag Team Titles tournament, because apparently Nikita Lyons and all that was not vaccinated, so they cannot travel to Canada. So, yeah, and then the Usos got stopped at the border because, I don't even need to explain why they got stuck at the border. That you can just search that up yourself. And, that match actually, I watched that show when they were in Canada. That crowd was hot for a SmackDown. And I mean, it was hot. But I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, I hope that picked that up. I just don't know what else to talk about. I really don't. I don't have anything else to talk about. Nothing's really happened in NXT. I mean, I basically talked about what happened during AEW. I talked about what happened mostly during WWE. Oh! I forgot one thing. Toronto, Monday night. Someone returned. Triple H's love child, Johnny Gargano, is back. And who is he wrestling? The first person he's wrestling? Austin fucking Theory. Now, I'd like to take note that this is Triple H's love child right here. He loves Gargano. So, him and Ciampa so much. Loves him to death. It's so good to see Johnny Gargano back. And it was a genuine surprise, even though Fightful was kind of reporting, like, yeah, he's returning soon. Don't know when. But, I mean, yeah, it's really nice to see Johnny Gargano back in the WWE ring, though. So, now that Triple H is head of creative, my man's going to get the fucking rocket. Would I pay to see him win the Undisputed title? Yes, absolutely. I would pay all the monies in the world. All the monies. All the monies. But, yeah, it's good to see him. And even he himself was like, I wanted to keep it a surprise. So, and he did. So, there's that. But it's just nice to see Johnny Gargano back. I mean, he's been off for a while. He had a kid with Candice. And all that kind of stuff. So, it's really nice to see him back. I'd really like to see Candice LeRae return, too. That'd be very interesting. That'd bolster the women's scene in WWE. Alright, you know what? That's pretty much all I have to talk about news-wise, so let's just real quickly get into Ring of Honor. So, it's a recap, kind of a... Oh, gosh. Oh, I thought it was a recap show. Never mind. So, it is now, I believe, week 13, I think. Yeah, it's week 13 now. We have a recap of Dak Draper winning Death Before Dishonor. We have a show intro. Show the crowd to catch Kevin Kelly and Matt Striker as they welcome us to the RH Arena. As Kevin Kelly says, the RH roster is still reeling from what happened in Baltimore this past Saturday. However, we look to the West, and more specifically, the gateway to the West in St. Louis, Missouri. We are a month away from Gateway to Honor. First match we have is Jungle Jack Perry versus Reno Renegade. Perry and Reno have a fast-paced technical clash where Perry gets the upper hand as he hits the three moves of doom. German suplex, corner drop kick, and swinging neck breaker into the snare trap for a win at a 7-minute match. We then get a recap package of Blanchard, Pillman, Anderson, and Ellering from Death Before Dishonor. Basically the new generation of the Four Horsemen. We have Pillman and Anderson versus Garrison and Drake. Tessa and Rachel join Pillman and Anderson as the second generation stars show no mercy as they are now their former tag partners all too well, picking them apart until Pillman and Anderson hit Air Pillman's spine buster combo for the win in an 8-minute match. That actually sounds fucking badass. That sounds like a badass finisher. I need a name for that other than, Air Pillman spine buster. The pill buster? Nah, that sounds fucking stupid. Brian Zane. We then go to Brian Zane, the podium with Tessa, and says, Miss Blanchard, you have made many waves in Ring of Honor since your debut. However, putting this team together may be the biggest wave yet. Why have you brought this group together? Tessa looks at Zane like she was insulted and says that, why on earth would I want to bring a group of second-generation wrestlers together? I don't know, Zane. Maybe because I've known Brock since we were little, and I've known Brian since they were kids. And as for me and Rachel, have been friends since we broke into the business. You see, when my father said that the right amount of pressure creates diamonds, he was talking about the 4 professional wrestlers standing right in front of you. And each and every one of us was molded to be in this industry. Hell, we are this injury, and just like that, and just like diamonds, they're forever. Match 3 is Allie versus Joyce Wilder. Allie and Joyce show off for the fans for a while until Allie catches Joyce with a knee strike to the face. Allie takes over from there and hits the cherry bomb or the cherry popper or the Why are there so many names? The fuck buster. Of course the fuck buster. For the 1-2-3, Allie celebrates as she leaves She sees Zane and quickly says, "Hi Deep, I'll be waiting," and leaves. A recap package shows a battle between Dishonored and ROH at Death Before Dishonor. We then have match 4 versus Flip Gordon versus Trevor Toxin. Is that how you say it? What the fuck kind of last name? I don't know. I'm getting distracted. Flip is in trouble early, but flips out back suplex, and from there dominates Toxin. Flip hits the airdrop for the win in the 4-minute match. Backstage from Death Before Dishonor, we see Dishonor still celebrating as we see a TV production assistant go up to Draper and whisper something in his ear. Draper looks at him and laughs at him as more beer is brought in. Draper has a mic and says, "Jarrett, you couldn't let me have a moment to celebrate? You're already trying to rain on my parade? I can't hold both the TV and ROH championships? That's fine, because the TV title should go to a good home, and I can't think of a more deserving man to hold this championship than Brian Johnson, the man who helped me retain this title the most and the longest." He hands the ROH TV title to Johnson, who hugs the title, and Dishonored go back to celebrating as Johnson says, "Wait, does this mean I have to wrestle on ROH TV?" Draper looks at him and laughs and nods. The rest of Dishonored continue to drink as Brian Johnson leaves. Johnson walks out as he looks pissed off. He holds the ROH TV title high in the air as the fans pelt him with trash. He looks at the ramp and we hear Matt Stryker ask where the rest of Dishonored are. Quickly, Kevin Kelly says hopefully instead of heading north on I-95, they took a wrong turn and are going the other way south. Haha. Very funny highway references. Johnson stands in the ring as he awaits his opponent as we hear some dice roll across the table. Zicky Dice walks out. The main event 2, we have the main event 1, actually. Oh wait, I just spoiled what just gonna happen. Yeah, there's gonna be 2, we're gonna have 2 main events. There's a double main event this time. See how quick this is gonna go. Main event title, TV title on the line. Brian Johnson versus Zicky Dice. 2 have a good back and forth for a while until the rage in Johnson becomes too much as he starts to beat the ever-living hell out of Dice. Dice is lying on the mat, covered in blood, as he coughs some more of it up. The ref goes to check on Zicky and calls for the bell. Brian Johnson is successful in his first defense of the ROH TV title after a 6-minute match. He grabs the mic and says, "Right, Right, we got about another 20 minutes left in this show here tonight. How about someone else comes out and tries to have a go? If there are any takers in the back, Johnson stands in the ring as the fans continue to yell obscenities at him. Out steps Gabriel Kidd. Johnson looks at him for a bit and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" Kidd says nothing, but it's a massive lariat and the match is on. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. We have Brian Johnson versus Gabriel Kidd. The young bull beats the Tommy used the non-polite way to say crap. Beats the shit out of Johnson. Well, just say shit. Just put shit. You don't even have to explain why I have to say shit. Just say. Just beats the ever-living shit out of Johnson using both his strength and technical ability to bully Johnson. Johnson can only try to match Kidd's strikes with his own. As the beatdown goes on, we see a very drunk Dak Draper stumble onto the stage with the rest of Dishonor. Josh Woods, being the least drunk, rushes the ring to try and help Johnson. Excuse me. Where was that? Kidd punts him in the face and knocks him out cold. Tracy Williams then tries, but stumbles as he runs and face plants onto the ground. Johnson sees this happen and starts to cry. Kidd picks him up and he loads up. He nails another massive lariat. He then sets Johnson up for the double underhook brainbuster when Deep low blows Kidd. The ref calls for the bell as Brian Johnson has once again retained his ROH TV title. Johnson retained the ref calls for the bell and once again retains ROH TV title for the second time tonight. Dishonor collect Johnson and drunkenly celebrate up the ramp and on the stage as Kidd is now on one knee looking at them. Instead of being pissed off, he stands up and looks at Draper. He then points at Draper and says, "We are not done with you yet." He smiles. And Dishonor stumbles back. We are about to fade to black when we see a limo pull up and Jarrett steps out and says to someone still, "And you are all as good as Kidd was then, Dishonor. You should be shaking in their boots." Jarrett laughs as Doug Williams steps out and says, "That's right. And when we do, and when the boss comes in, you're like, what?" Wait, hold on. I completely fucked that up. Jarrett laughs as Doug Williams steps out and says, "That's right. And when the boss comes in, you're like, what can we do?" Fades to black. End credits. Ooh, a cliffhanger. Will we find out what happens next time on ROH? Tune in next time at Ring of Honor. Other than that, this is a pretty good recap show. I'm pretty sure I thought the first draft of this, there was just gonna be a complete recap show. Basically a recount. Basically a recount with Kevin Kelly. Funny New Japan reference there. But other than that, this is going to be another edition of We Are Not Entertained. Kind of impromptu, doing it very quickly. I mean, I've been Tommy Haley. BTT, we did BTT this past week. We talked about baseball, all that kind of stuff. I was very tired. I was passing out most of the time. Brock had COVID. Brock still has COVID. And then Ben was fine as a whistle. Ben's a D1 athlete. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at dude_x14. The D and the R capitalized. You can follow the YouTube channel on Twitter at bcardyt. The B, the C, the Y, and the T are capitalized. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And you can also listen to Big Time Talkers on any platform podcast is available on. Like, I don't even need to explain it. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. Other than that, this has been We Are Not Entertained. See y'all later. Bye. Make sure you drink plenty of water.